Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Okay, so I'm going to try to be a little more calmer. I feel like I'm a lot more calmer now. And we all know why. It's going to be talking about Nina. And the reason why I'm so calm right now is because this is who Nina is going to be for the next, I don't know, couple of months. You know, it's their attempt at shaking things up, making a new villain. Okay, fine, sure. It has to be her. I'm not gonna lie, I've said this before, sound like a broken record, but whatever. I started to not really like this woman when she started giving hell to Willow for checking her stepdaughter. And one of the things that irked me, and this is just irked me, and I don't even have kids, so I can imagine. Let me just ask you a question. Has someone ever actually, criticized you about parenting, or try to give you advice about parenting, and they don't have kids? I can only imagine how irked you must be. The reason why I say that is because Nina, in her infinite wisdom, decided to say to Liz, "Oh, well, it's her fault for, way Aiden is for being so soft. That's just the way that, she raised him." And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm sorry, sweetheart, do you actually have kids? So, yeah, I've just had a problem with her since then. She goes to Jordan like a jackass, and here's my issue with her. She comes out of her mouth, and she's like, well, at first she's like, no, what did she say? She was like, Carly murdered my daughter. Wow, okay, really? And then she comes out of her mouth and she explains to Jordan that, she heard her, calling for help, and she hesitated and she didn't save her and she let her die. And I'm like, I'm sorry, is there some sort of Good Samaritan act that people are supposed to follow? If they don't follow it, then they go to jail? Because I'm just like, boo-hoo, she let her die, so what? She didn't kill her, she let her die. And you know what? The reason, I'm starting to really understand the reason why I get so irked whenever she says her daughter was troubled. Because I feel like it's an insult to every single victim that Nell has ever made out of a person. I don't know if that sounds right, but yeah, her late ex-husband or whatever, Michael, Brooklyn, Carly, Jocelyn, pretty much her whole family. But she wants to say trouble, and I'm like, wow, that's just insulting. But yeah, she goes in there and she's like, well, Carly lied, and she didn't tell the truth, and she told the Vermont, or the Philadelphia police, I don't remember who, but she told them a lie. And I'm just sitting there thinking, okay, so what? She told her a lie. So what's the worst that could happen? They have no physical evidence saying that Carly pushed Nell over the cliff. And at the very least, she lied. Yeah, Diane's a good attorney. I'm pretty sure she could sit there and spin that. So what else do you have? Towards the end of this episode, she goes up to Valentine, and she's like, at first she admits that Valentine was right about Jax, which he was. But then she's like, well, I need you, I want you to help me make Carly pay. And I'm just not there thinking, didn't your demon child Nell actually did that to her and her whole family? Or are we just reversing time or something? What is this? Wow. It's so funny, when I saw the clips of it, I got so angry. And then I realized today, I was like, you know what, this is exactly who Nina's gonna be. This is who Nina's gonna be. So, listen, if there's any fans that like Nina, well, clearly I'm just not going to go easy on her, if you haven't noticed by now. But yeah, this is who she's gonna be, and you know, this is unfortunate, but it is what it is. They need to have a villain, and yeah. Oh, and by the way, do this too often, because I want to make sure I get your name right, which I'm probably 1 second. A lot of people made some very good points, and one of those people was Jay, Carly, Sam. You know who I'm talking about. She made a good point. Pretty much Nina is going to shoot herself in the foot. Big time. Carly owns the hotel, Jax is her boss, and I'm pretty sure Michael, listen, if you think about just screwing over his parents and yet somehow think you're going to be able to visit your grandson, good luck, because that's not going to happen. So between the fact that you're probably going to be running your office from your house, and there's a good chance you're never going to see your grandson ever again, but go on with your revenge plan. Let's just see how well this works out for you. Now let's go with Sunny. So Sunny, I don't remember if they all got back or at some point, but you got Lenny, Phyllis, and Sunny looking at the damage. Apparently the place had been robbed. And Phyllis is distraught. I don't know if that's the right word for it. Lenny is pissed, and he blames Sunny. He blames Sunny for leaving the bar unattended because Sunny went to go drop off that guy that was too drunk to drive. So he is livid with Sunny. The cop comes. You know, that dick of a cop that's always been giving Sunny problems, because why not at this point? So he comes in there, and automatically he's sitting there just being like, well, Sunny, you did this, and you did that, and you're probably the person responsible. And then he talks about he ran his fingerprints without his permission. But then, you know, nothing came back because he didn't get, like, I guess, like, a good grip on the cup or whatever. So you did all that, which I'm pretty sure is illegal. You did all that, and you turned nothing in. Nothing happened for me. So then in this bizarre scene, and I do not understand why, I'm still just confused about this whole thing. Lenny went from being pissed and angry at Sunny, blaming Sunny for, you know, the bar being the way it is, to defending him towards the cop. I'm just like, Lenny, you okay? Because, like, 5 minutes ago, you were just... Oh, okay. Sure, we're doing this now for some odd reason. So now you're sitting there defending, Sunny. The cop goes upstairs to check to make sure that he didn't steal any goods, because apparently if Sunny stole anything from the bar, money and stuff like that, it would be in his room. Because that's usually what smart criminals do. So of course they go up there, they find nothing, and then he walks downstairs and he's like, you know, I have my eye on you, or whatever. Okay. Weirdo. So then he leaves. At some point, Phyllis is like, you gotta leave. I was like, okay. She's upset about the bar and everything like that, and maybe Sunny being there, and all the trouble that's happened since, you know, he's got there. So I'm sitting thinking that's why. No, she wanted to do it to protect Sunny from going to jail, because the dick of a cop has a vendetta against him, and he's not going to let go of it. And she's worried that he's going to go to jail. At one point, Sunny's like, you know, listen, that's when Sunny's like, listen, I'm sorry for everything that's happened. I just want you to know that I didn't do anything. And that's when Phyllis shows the real reason why. And then Sunny's like, okay, cool, so I'm staying. That's not what she said. She said that she wants you to leave. I mean, I understand why she says she wants you to leave, but she still wants you to leave. So he's like, no, I'm going to stay, because as long as there's trouble, then, you know, I'm going to help you guys out, because you've been really good to me. And then Lenny's like, well, okay. I guess we got some cleaning up to do. I'm sitting there thinking, what the hell did I just watch? We just went from Phyllis telling him that I want you to leave to he saying that I want to stay, and Lenny went from being pissed at Sonny to defending Sonny to smiling and laughing and saying, okay, I guess we got a lot of cleaning up to do. Good thing that we have you. Okay, you know what? If it wasn't so comical, I would just be like, what the did I just watch? But if anyone could actually explain that scene to me, that would make sense, because I don't know about that scene. Now Jason talks to Britt, and you know, she talks about the drug and how addictive it is, and she's like, well, I got some tests that I ran. So she goes on the computer. The file is going. I knew the file was going to be going, by the way. The file, everything was erased, or her research that she did was going. So now she is upset. At this point, her hand starts trembling. So whatever's going on with Britt is getting a lot worse. And she's like, well, I'll go and I'll tell someone. And Jason's like, I think that's a bad idea. I highly advise against that. And, you know, Britt gets all defensive, like, I don't need you to sit and defend me. I can take care of myself. And Jason's like, okay, I politely advise you to not do that because, you know, I got a way to, you know, handle them for now. So, you know, just chill out. At this point, he leaves. Britt calls some doctor about getting, I guess, the tremors or whatever, like, looked at. And, yeah. So, Valentine, before, you know, he just, like, bailed on Martin Gray's and Jackie's conversation, I mean, the minute that Nina walked in, he just, like, alright, bye. He just walked off. So, before he did that, he met Martin Gray. Martin was sitting there talking about, like, where have you been at? You know, I've been sitting there trying to get a hold of you so that we could find my mom or whatever. Jackie comes in. Jackie's like, I got a idea, a location. You know, she talks about Bobby being gone and taking up private work, and most likely it's in Vermont. So Martin's like, I want to go. Jackie advises against that because, you know, she works alone and, you know, she doesn't need him tagging along, probably making the situation worse. They argue. Valentine's like, I'm not going, but I don't want to sit there and say throw money at the situation, but he's like, I got other things that I'm kind of, like, working on, so I can't help you find your mom, even though that not that long ago he said that he considers him somewhat of a friend, but whatever. There's an analogy that I want to say that I'm just not going to say because it's really just crude humor. But, like, I get that you want to try to get back Nina, but, you know, maybe you can kind of just dial it down a notch since he's been kind of kicking you to the curb for a while and, you know, help your new friend find his mom. No? Okay, cool. So at some point, Jackie and Martin are arguing, and Jackie blurts out Vermont. Now, Cyrus walks in, and Cyrus is like, so, what about Vermont? What's going on? And, I don't remember who said what, but somebody pretty much told him that, you know, there's a good chance that, you know, their mother is in Vermont, and that, you know, they're going to be sitting there looking into it. Now, Cyrus, in the beginning of the episode, was threatening Brandon about results, about trying to find his mother. Long story short, he was like, listen, if you don't find my mother, you're going to be terminated. And I don't mean that he's going to be getting pink slip. So, yeah, the pressure's on for Brando to kind of perform. And when he goes to talk to Martin, he's like, you know what, don't bother, I got a guy that's on it. And, well, let's just sit there and say, you know, the consequences if he does not deliver. Now, Brando calls Jason up to meet him in the alley somewhere. And, Brando meets him up, and Brando's like, listen, he's giving me a task, and if I don't deliver, well, I'm probably going to be dead. Most likely dead. So are you going to help me? Now, at some point, it seems like they staged this whole thing because, Brando gets a lot louder. He's like, whoa, you've been, I did everything for Sonny, and this is how you're going to treat me. You're not going to help me out. You're really not going to help me out. He walks away, and Jason shoots him. So, yeah. Obviously, it's a ploy. Jason's not going to sit there and, shoot Brando. So, whatever it is, I guess it's to fake his death. We'll see how long that lasts. And, yeah. What else? Carly was talking to Jocelyn about, told her the truth about everything that happened in Vermont. That she didn't kill Nell, but she did hesitate. And she did lie to police. And Jocelyn was like, yeah, you know what? Let's not get it. After the whole Nell framing you for pushing her down the stairs, I get why you lied. So, and that's when Jordan came by and was like, listen, I need to talk to you. Long story short, she was like, you need to get Diane on this, because most likely the feds are going to get involved. And, from what Jason was saying, and Carly already knows, listen, the feds, they want a Corinthos. And they don't care if they can't get Sonny at this point. Carly's next best thing. So they're going to go pretty damn hard on her, and Diane needs to be on her A game. I'm not going to lie, I'm already sitting there sensing the fact that, Nina's going to probably have something to do with the fact that getting Carly locked away. Because it wasn't enough for her demon of a daughter to terrorize Carly and pretty much her whole family. And the thing that's really ironic is that before Nina knew that Nell was allegedly her daughter, she went pretty hard on her a couple of times. There was a time where Nina caught Nell trying to blackmail Valentine. And at some point, she fired her. But when this whole custody thing happened, Nina told Nell off. Everything that Carly and everyone else is sitting there saying about how she's self-centered, she only cares about herself, she only cares about getting back at Carly. She literally told her off. She testified against her because she knew it was the right thing. But now all of a sudden, my daughter this, my daughter that. So it's like, yeah, sweetheart, okay, you know what, honestly, tell you the truth, I don't give a damn about you. I don't give a damn about Nell. The only thing that Nell's life, the only thing that Nell actually did right in her whole life was Wiley. And hell, she was practically screwing that up, using her own child as a damn pawn. But that's the only thing that her life actually, that's the only thing that she actually did in her whole life right. Other than that, it was just a mess. And, Nina's playing the victim, and the whole, she didn't have anyone in her corner, and blah, 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 blah. Just rewriting history like she has a damn reality stone. So, at this point, it is what it is. One other thing. I know somebody in the comment section, I think her name was Alice, I'm not sure, but somebody was sitting there talking about how Willow may also be Nina's daughter. And I'm sitting there thinking, there's a good high chance that that's not going to happen. Because Harmony didn't just imagine that she had a daughter. She didn't just imagine that she gave birth. I don't think that's something you can imagine. I don't think that's just something you can imagine. I'm not a woman, but I can only imagine that that's not something that you can imagine giving birth to, in the extreme pain and God knows what else that women have to go through. And, wow. So I just don't feel that, with that being said, that, Willow could possibly be, Nina's daughter. I don't see it. And yeah. Last thing is about Curtis and Portia. Portia pretty much just counsels Curtis about their marriage and are you sure you want to give up on it, and because at one point Portia brings up the fact that he needs to talk to his wife about trying to cut a deal with well, get like work, well, whatever deal, like cut a deal with Cyrus to get Taggart back to help Trina out and maybe even her. But before she really gets into that, that's when Curtis is like, I can't do that because I separated from my wife. So they go through this whole counseling session, and Curtis just pretty much lays out the whole reasons why that he doesn't want to be with Jordan anymore, or he wants to take a pause from Jordan. Portia brings up her issues about Taggart, and yeah. Honestly, to tell you the truth, at the end of it, Curtis is talking about how he wants to do something new, but he has one more job to do, and he wants Portia to come along, and that means being his Valentine's. Besides the fact that Portia was being pretty nasty towards Ava, Portia looks good. Okay, Portia looks a lot better than Jordan. Okay, so I feel that at the very least it's an upgrade. So yeah, I'm for it. She is bad, so yeah. With that being said, I think that's about it. Let me just double check. And by the way, before anyone, just in case anyone sits there and take my words, like just twist it around or whatever, as far as the whole birthing thing or whatever, like I have the utmost respect for that. I don't just listen. I don't deal with pain on a good day, so yeah, I just all the respect in the world. I also want to sit there and say it because, apparently every once in a while my words get twisted around. Not really so much on this, but maybe some of my other stuff that I talk about. And, since someone got kind of upset with me, I've been kind of just, like, making sure that some of my words don't get too twisted up around. But, anyway, with that being said, I think that's about it. If I missed anything, please let me know in the comment section below. Yeah. Have a good day, good night, be safe. I will catch everyone in the next review.